It's your girl Maddie here, aka Beaver Mosh, here today to talk to you about Von Wegen from the Berlin-based band Nidare. This one is coming off of Through Love Records. And this is Nidare's debut studio album. And this project is a result of a handful of underground German musicians coming together with their shared affinity for the sounds and qualities of black metal. But these musicians all come from their own backgrounds and bring those influences in, and those backgrounds include elements ranging from post metal and hardcore and some screamo, and it all is injected into this post black metal recipe, and the result is pretty satisfying to my ears. I very much enjoyed this record. And these influences come in a way into black metal to create post black metal that does not subdue the black metal. That's important. This album infuses a lot of dissonance and harshness into a lot of atmosphere, and the screamo and the hardcore influences coming through on this definitely injects some life and is felt through a lot of the raw emotiveness in some of the runs this thing takes. On the first track, Seinflut, things open with this vast, dark expanse. You get these thick, buzzing guitars. These scathing vocals really complement this fog really well. It sounds like there's this wall set up, but there are cracks in the wall, and you can hear somebody screaming from the other side, trying to find that crevice for which you to hear them at and hear that desperation. The drums maintain this very visceral presence throughout. You got these scorching leads that send warning signals throughout your headphone at very opportune occasions. The post begins to become realized and emphasized as we reach this more clean guitar led spacious section with these light meditative touches from the drums, and all the instruments start coming in with this gradual crescendo, and you feel the track caving in and compressing until it finally bursts open at its desperate climactic peak. On the title track, we get these frenzied, wiry tremolos that come at such a force at you. The riffs have this morose, downtrodden, melodic sensibility to them. There's also this cool part where one guitar kind of creates this hostile foundation with these sustained notes, and it plays with the other guitar that comes in with to add some real physicality with these sawing palm metal riffs, these palm muted riffs. I'm sorry. And this track is littered with these really grandiose and impassioned passages that are impossible not to pay complete attention to and be completely enveloped by. Silhouette is a bit different, and it starts with this more dreamy and serene introduction. You got these melancholic touches from the guitars. It's a very captivating and very immersive opening passage. The vocals feel simultaneously very despondent, but also full of life-affirming energy. On the other hand, you get these large, very triumphant grooves and very fist-pumping riffs that give this its propulsiveness throughout. And the drums remain very simple on this track, but are recorded with a lot of vibrancy and crispness. It really holds this track up at its core. On Wegen, on the other hand, directly contrast Silhouette with something much more bleak and harrowing. You get these devilish vocals over these sharp and burrowing guitar runs. It's very compressing and claustrophobic feel throughout this, but at times it does open up and allow things to breathe before clamping in on you once more, and it kind of repeats that pattern. On Wingspiel, you get these very hypnotic and mesmerizing arpeggios that create space and lead into these very skyward guitar swells that conjure up so much unbridled passion and emotiveness. There's just a palpable epicness to this track that I just can't ignore. Immernoke, the conclusion track, it's the most dynamically buried. It goes from some of its most nasty, heavy, and hard-hitting sections on this record, and also contains some of the sparsest passages on this record, so sparse that it is literally just a rudimentary drum beat. The heavy use of delay here on the guitar helps bolster the intoxicating atmosphere that looms over this entire record. You constantly feel like you're being sucked inward to this thing and kind of trapped in this cave. It's mesmerizing for the most part. This album carries a muted euphoria into a very sinister cavern. The sound here is dense, it's harsh, it's punishing, it's decaying, but also weirdly uplifting at the same time. The contrast in hostility and emotiveness is the real selling point on this record. If you're someone, and to be honest, myself included at times, who hears the term post-black metal and that makes you sound kind of wary and kind of give a side eye, this might be one of those albums that if it doesn't at least change your mind about post-black metal, it creates a strong argument to at least be an exception to that rule, as this is not post-metal that borrows from black, but it is black metal that borrows from post. And those are my thoughts. If you enjoy what I do and enjoyed this review, consider hitting that like button. It really helps get my work out there. If you are watching these videos and would like to be supportive more, consider subscribing if you'd be so kind. It really helps my channel grow. If you have any thoughts on this record or metal in general, I super adore interacting with those, and I'm so glad to be able to do that more and more with you who seem to enjoy what I've been putting out lately, which I am so appreciative of. I have a Twitter you can follow. The link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. Hey, keep it metal. Say no to turfs. My name is Maddie, aka Beaver Mosh. Signing off.